Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Arg with a new episode of Storytime. I'm going to be talking about how anime began for me from the very beginning to kind of essentially where I'm at right now. It all originally started in 6th grade when I started watching Dragon Ball Z Kai. After I started watching Kai, I started getting into Dragon Ball Z, and then once I finished Z, I was like, dang, I really want to know more about the series. And that's when I discovered the original Dragon Ball series. After I finished with that 150 some episode series, I was really kind of sad, every single time when you finish a really good series, at least at the time, you're like, dang, I feel kind of sad. So I decided, I was like, hey, I want to see something else. So on the website where I was watching the original Dragon Ball series at the time, oh yeah, and by the way, there I took a break halfway through because 150 episodes is pretty long. I took maybe a month or 2 month long break. So after that, I started watching a really dumbass show called Digimon. After the first 2 episodes, I was like, all right, this is too retarded for my taste. Sorry, gotta get out of here. But after that, I found One Piece, and because I was like, dang, bro, I really want to see a really long show. I really want there to be a lot of fights. It had a pretty good reviews. A lot of people were talking about it. Everybody was like, oh yeah, this show is never gonna end. I'm like, you know what? Sounds like some good stuff right here. So I started watching One Piece, and then afterwards, how every normal person that watches One Piece, you have to take a break. So afterwards, I took my first break, and then I came back. And then I took another break, and then I came back, and around this time it was, I think, around maybe summer 2016, more or less, or probably still probably still winter season. And this is when I found my very first waifu. You see, I had gotten to the point where we were introduced to this character, Boa Hancock, in One Piece. And my 15-year-old brain, I was like, yo, what is this? So, how any normal little weeb, 15-year-old weeb would do. And so I did some research and I found a bunch of YouTube channels that were like, oh yeah, what to expect from this 2016 summer season. And I was like, all right, but the stuff I was looking into was more on the ecchi side because I just realized. Now, one show in particular I'd seen a couple times, on these top 10 lists. And I saw, and the animation was actually pretty good because all the other stuff was really out there. It was pretty wild, they had titties that were this big and stuff. And afterwards, when I first saw it, the animation, it wasn't actually too bad. It actually looked kind of normal. And I was like, dang, this actually looks pretty good. The show is Misao Gakuen, HXH, Manji's Academy. That's what I will always know it as. I know you're not supposed to pronounce the X, but that's what I know it as. So afterwards, I was like, hey, so I started looking at it because I didn't realize that it was actually that it hadn't come out yet. So I was always looking it up. I was like, hey, Misao Gakuen, right? And then afterwards, I realized after about maybe 30 minutes of trying to find it, I was like, hey, it doesn't exist yet. I was like, all right, whatever. But that was my very first thing that I ever watched weekly. And that's probably why my taste in anime right now is more towards the ecchi side than in stuff that's completely unnormal than what other people might believe. But, it's what I like. But I'll have you guys know that I do have a wide range and a wide variety of stuff that I've watched. If you guys actually take a look at my Annie list, you guys will actually see that ecchi is probably maybe the 6th thing out of the top 6 things. I think it probably goes maybe action, comedy, romance, all this stuff first, and then it comes ecchi 6th. Well, after that whole time period, and this was during that summer 2016 season, I took a fat break. And then afterwards, about a year and maybe, let's say, a year and a half ago, right? All my friends, right, that are inside of my friend group, we were all decided, hey, we're gonna start watching anime because this one really awesome guy, right? He's he's the anime god inside our group, right? Everybody was asking, saying, hey, what would you recommend, that kind of stuff. And he's so we all just started to watch Naruto. Now, the reason why Naruto is a 10 out of 10 on my list is because it brought all of us guys like more together, kind of in that sense, because that is the whole thing that actually started like this like current like anime just like watching like all the time essentially. Like Naruto is the thing that started the whole thing. So that's why it's up there for me. Not just because it's like a pretty good show and it has like really good like a premise and all that kind of stuff. No, it's because of what it symbolizes to me. That's why it's a 10 out of 10. So after Naruto, we all started to watch stuff like Brotherhood or Hunter x Hunter, you know, stuff that everybody, you know, should watch or at least have heard of, you know, because they're such big names and they're such big things. After those, we started to watch, you know, more and more, and I started to watch more than my other friends, and, you know, now, essentially, we start watching stuff, and then our lists are all pretty long, you know, some are longer than others, but yeah, so, yeah, that's how we got from the very beginning of my story of anime to right now. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of Storytime. Shavoy!